Hello, everyone. This is Neil, and you're listening to the Big Bad Movie Show. And Ben has joined me this week. He answered the call, and we're watching Ghostbusters from 1984. And we're just going to jump right on in. So Ben's going to do the honors and give us the countdown.
Okay. Three, two, one, start. All right. The old Columbia Pictures
Beautiful.
with the yes.
So, so how long was the new one, the answer the call?
Let me find out.
I know it was like just the theatrical cut.
So I have to think. I never knew why this movie was so good. Well, I know lots of reasons why this movie was so good, but one of the things I never knew until I heard it from Max Landis was this movie, the lenses, the camera styles, the camera angles, the lighting style they're using
Mm-hmm.
is the same kind of camera style, lighting, and lenses that they would use to shoot like a thriller or a disaster movie in the 80s.
Mm.
Basically, they're not shooting this like a comedy. They're shooting this like a thriller or a disaster movie.
Uh, See, I have another theory why this is a much better movie. It's actually funny.
Well, there is that too.
It
But
has
yeah,
a sense of humor.
116 minutes is the old one, so it's actually longer than this one.
Yeah.
Where this is only like 105 minutes.
Right. So the new one is just shy of being 2 hours.
Yes.
That's actually shorter than
This
I thought it was. It just seems longer. Because it
in
seems like...
this
Anyway, what?
what I love is I can say this was a practical effect.
Hmm.
This was a practical effect.
Yeah, there's actually some mystery to this. Like, some of these shots, I'm not even sure how they did it. Like, I don't know how they're making the cards fly out of the drawers like that.
And you don't see any ghosts yet.
Right. They don't spoil it.
Oh man, Neil, I need a new drug.
Uh, so I dropped out of the chat for like an hour because I'm getting everything set, and the optical drive on my DV or on my PC doesn't work. Like, just out of the blue, it's not working. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll get my uh, I'll get my little TV and my PlayStation 2 and play the DVD version, and I'll just patch the audio into the PC. And no matter what I did, there was a buzzing in the audio. So, god damn it. So I got this like weird daisy chain set up with the audio so that it's finally tolerable. I feel like a caveman watching this in 480i.
So what I love about this scene is it tells you a lot about Peter Venkman's character. I mean, with the Venkman go to hell on his door,
Yeah.
and this the men that stare at goats esque experiment of using electric shock therapy to inhibit sensory perception, which is totally a bullshit kind of thing that
Yeah, I
you
love how
know
he starts out, he's already a quack.
yeah. And the sad thing is this sort of experiment is not that out there in what universities actually do.
Yeah.
And what I love, he's such a sleazy guy. He's obviously trying to get in this college student's pants.
Right.
And what I love is the student getting shocked is so obviously like his. I think it's implied that his hair is like this because of all the shocks.
Yeah. Oh my God, Bill Murray can act. He was so he was phoning it in the remake. It's amazing what a good script will do to a guy. Actually motivate him. There's gonna be a lot of this just us watching the movie.
Yes.
Oh
Look how young he was.
my God, look at that.
Before the 90s, before the
Before Elwood ate Jake.
before the before the Crystal Skull vodka.
Now he actually is a kook in real life. He believes in all this shit.
Yes. When his kids asked him if ghostbusting was real, he told them yes.
Oh boy. Dan.
See, but before Dan got his hands on the script, this it was a lot more like I would almost say like the Filmation Ghostbusters with the gorilla and the net and stuff.
Oh, it was supposed to have John Belushi, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. This was totally going to be a comedy, and it still is. But it was
Yes.
going to be like Animal House funny.
Yeah.
See, now you can kind of connect the dots here and there, comparing it to the Answer the Call remake, and I believe it actually takes them a while to get back to that mansion.
Yep.
At least like 10 minutes, because there's all this horsing around at the
University.
at the university.
Oh, I love this. See, this establishes a lot about Egon. You know, the time you try to drill a hole in your head, and Egon just says, "That would have worked if you didn't stop me."
Implying that he's a kook too.
Yes. That's what I love about the Venkman character. I love this.
Wow. Mm.
And the PKE meter is was a like a shoe shine thing with like stuff strapped on.
Mm.
I
Okay,
love
so
this.
so the remake isn't that much longer than this, but it sure drags everything out to a crawl.
I love Venkman's lines. The music cues too, like da da da. Oh, I love this scene because what Bill Murray does here is actually really Bill Murray. It's
Mhm.
not in the script what he does here.
No, I still think the remake still falls into epic length territory because That whole movie is basically the first 30
Here we
minutes of
go.
this movie. Yeah, I know.
That right there.
I think it's from like the slime pit from the Masters of the Universe toys or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
And what I love is they don't try to make all these characters like super competent. I mean, Egon obviously is a genius, but he has problems, i.e., the drilling a hole in his head.
right. Just how we'll hear lines later that where he just kind of doesn't sell it at all. He's just like he just kind of takes it as everyday normal. The most absurd things that the other guys say.
I love how you know you know Ray's like, and it's real. And I love it's like they finally found the ghost. And they're like, what do we do with it?
That's a pretty neat effect.
And it's an actual effect.
Yeah.
We're 11 minutes in, and we see the ghost. This is actually, I think we see the ghost in the new one a lot sooner.
Right.
I think by now they're already talking about, oh, it got everywhere.
I think in the new one they're just ending the opening credits.
And notice there is no slime in my vagina joke for this.
Nope.
I love the music.
Yeah.
It's like hoop boogie jazz style.
Yeah. This is the difference between scripting and storyboarding. Storyboarding, you know physical comedy, you know what is visually funny. The new movie is just scripted to hell. It's like funny joke after funny joke, and it's all just in the dialogue. There's no subtlety.
I love this guy, and he's only in for like 30 seconds.
Hmm. See, and it doesn't take that much to get to this. The new movie has to go through this whole thing with a book on Amazon and this getting on YouTube and blah 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 just to get Kristen Wiig kicked out of a university.
Yeah, and there's no, and what I love is this is actually kind of classy. There's no like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean this all seems so streamlined. It's like somebody trimmed all the fat out. Except there never was any fat. People actually knew how to write movies back then. It's like I don't know when the epic movie thing started, but it's like let's take like Terminator 2, the director's cut. Somebody saw Terminator 2, the director's cut, and said, "Oh my God, this adds so much to have all these scenes that were cut out put back in the movie. Who cares if it's boring or ruins the flow of the movie? It explains so much more." And from that day forward, everybody had to do their movies like that, and I'm just so sick of it.
Oh, I love this scene. Day drinking. I love this.
And we're off to the races. Oh my god, look how fast this goes. You're at the
Yes,
firehouse already.
it's not even 20 minutes. I love this line.
Here comes the man baby.
While in the new movie they make such a big deal about how much they would love to have had the firehouse.
Hmm.
Well, in the old one, it's like, no, this place sucks. We're stuck with it because the guy with the money was a man baby.
So somebody wrote an article or something saying that Wonder Woman was the first movie that to ever feature a badass woman in an action role. They may be right. I can't think of anyone else who might have been in that kind of movie. Hmm.
Yes, long ago, in the time before Sigourney Weaver.
Although I'm happy for Wonder Woman succeeding, but
This
we have to remember that the DC movies are currently at 1 and 3.
1 and 4 actually.
Yeah, because of Green Lantern. I know people don't like to count that.
I keep on wondering how would this have been different if it was on Rick Moranis, but it was as they intended John Candy.
Oh, that would have been great.
He so wants her. That's what's so
Hmm.
funny about this. And he locked himself out. I love how they step on their mark.
Very 1980s commercial.
Yes. And what I love is they didn't know what the Ghostbusters looked like when they filmed that part of the movie. There was no idea for him of the jumpsuits and you saw them holding the scientific equipment, right?
Hmm.
There was a time when they were filming this movie that they thought the Ghostbusters would look like that all the time. And that's what I love about this movie is like you get like this cross section of like what the movie was in different stages.
Right. I never noticed that before.
Never?
Never. Of course, it's been a long time since I've seen this.
Mmm. Fresh out of the carton. I have that. I used to have that microwave. It weighed like 80 pounds. It had actual lead in
So you could have climbed inside and survived an atomic blast.
it. Here we go. Another thing. They didn't know that the vehicle is going to be white. This is actually a different hearse.
Hmm. So everything.
4800 is a lot for now.
4800 is a lot for a car that barely functions.
I love how she's obviously hitting on him, but he's
Mhm. Completely
like,
oblivious.
yeah,
And they worked that into maybe the worst plot of the cartoon series, which was the time they
yes.
changed Janine's character design.
You know, that's the biggest thing is I never understood like why people like paired them together and the fact that both characters wear glasses.
I don't know.
Here we go.
I'm ready to believe you. And someone told me to run right through it. I said, fuck that. It's the difference between us watching a shitty movie and us watching a movie we actually like.
We're letting the movie just play.
Yeah. And I love I love the needle drop music that they put in this movie. Paul Feig was so in over his head. I
Yeah,
mean,
look at the cooked eggs.
yep.
And look, they're wilted.
Hmm. See, we're already past the original movie because it took them 2 hours to even get to Zool.
I knew you were going to do that.
Product placement.
Was that New Coke and Coke Classic?
I don't know.
Ooh, iceberg. Oh God.
I sense a running gag coming. Oh, yep.
That was a good running gag, though.
Hmm. And they don't hang on it. They know the exact timing that it needs. Just needs him to do that push on the door and go to the next scene.
And that's
Do you
what I
think?
love is they established that they're broke now.
Yeah. Do you think this is why they were in the Chinese restaurant in the new movie?
I think so.
It's like they're just trying to connect the dots.
Yes. But they didn't
Yeah.
do a stupid wonton soup joke.
Yeah, the new movie's idea of a running joke is let's do the same thing over like 5 times. It's like I don't know why the wonton soup was supposed to be funny.
Yes.
Yes.
What I love is if you look closely, it's just a whole bunch of shit thrown on top of it to make it look technical.
Yeah.
But that's the '80s kind of prop making I love. And this is the first
S-
shot of the jumpsuits.
At uh at a half hour into the movie, we got the logo, we got the jumpsuits, we got the car. we're off to the races. Because there's nothing inconspicuous about their appearance at all.
I love this guy. There's so many things I love about this movie. And again,
It's like you're just a bunch of weirdos.
yeah, there's no test montage either.
It's almost like this movie is a response to the new one. It's like,
Yes.
here are all the things you don't need to do, all the things you don't need to establish.
Oh, what is this? Watch this. It looks she's putting out the fire with Windex.
Isn't that an automatic R these days?
Yes.
Can't
Oh,
show people
what
smoking.
what I love is just see how it's just hanging there.
Yeah, it's stuck to his lip.
And that's a practical effect.
Hmm.
They actually put slime on the wall. Oh, I just love so much about this scene.
It's like Egon's character is being totally unaware of himself and the reactions of other people.
Hey, we don't know what happened, and it's just he got slimed. And what I love is just like Red Letter Media said about the original Ghostbusters, in whenever they did paranormal movies before, you always had to like use the amulet or use the ancient ring or use the ancient spell to defeat the ghost. This was the first time it's like, no, we're going to defeat, mysticism and magic with our science. You know?
Hmm.
Because before this movie, you never seen that before. He says it like a rape victim.
Well, he does look like he got bukkakied. When this movie came out, was it 84?
Yeah. What I love is that
They have a they have a character composited into a shot that's drinking a thing that's actually physically there.
I know. Oh, I love this. And just I looked at the trapper. I love that shit. And you're gonna watch some very subtle body language between Egon
Hmm.
and Venkman.
We
That
both.
line, we saw what kicked its ass was improv. Watch this. See that?
Hmm.
And now the only montage in the movie. See bearded guy?
Right.
And the new one doesn't have this sort of montage of them being successful.
Right. fact, it seemed to go out of their way to make them fail, even though they were succeeding. The whole thing with the mayor who had to keep their success on the down low, or for some odd reason.
Yes. Oh, it's Casey Kasem.
Oh my God.
He's now a ghost.
He's up there with Snuggles. Is that Rudy in that shot?
Yes, it was. Now, this was originally going to be a sequence
Mm-hmm.
where they went to a haunted house and and Ray Stantz dresses up like a Napoleon figure and the ghost goes down on him versus being a dream. They wisely cut the whole sequence out and turned it into just this. Oh, yeah. Ernie Hudson.
Here we go. And people criticize us for him just coming into the middle of the movie like this, but it doesn't take that long for him to get in here.
In his
Only 10
line.
minutes, only 10 minutes longer than it was to establish them, what they look like and everything.
We aren't even an hour in yet.
Yeah. And he's a great character. He's the everyman. He's almost like the eyes of the audience.
Yeah, he is. And he's the man with the common sense. He's the man that he's not oh hell yeah nah kind of guy. He's a regular guy
Yeah.
and rather likable too.
He's the guy who gets thrown with these other three bozos.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. I got no explanation that he was just doing that for some reason. They wanted to make a trilogy out of this very simple story. And a Slimer spinoff.
Yes.
It's like, what were you thinking? It's like a story isn't simply the component of the total composition of its parts. It's pacing, it's timing. I mean, good way to ruin an excellent story is to slow it down to a crawl and add a lot of superfluous details and dialogue and dumb running gags about soup.
It's just a panel on the wall. It's not a big elaborate set piece.
Nope.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Here's another reason we'll love this movie. The EPA are bad guys.
And that's the thing is she's not an idiot. She's telling them basically screw you.
Hmm. He just met him and he's already treating him like shit.
Apparently, I heard that Murray was channeling this actor for his role in the new movie.
Please. He seems to be legitimately laughing there.
Yes.
Sometimes you can tell when they're having fun making a movie. God, this movie moves along in a nice clip.
Yeah. And that's a practical set. You can tell it's on a sound stage, but it still looks really nice.
Hmm.
And the way they ended that, just the right amount of time.
No wasted time in this movie at all.
No, goes at a very nice clip.
But like I said earlier, it's like the sort of thing where they draw the plot out and just bring everything forth very slowly. That's something that like worked once. And someone said, you know what, that's what every movie has to be like from now on. And it's like, no, no, it doesn't. We can have movies that are 100 minutes. It's like I have the 100-minute rule, which is once a movie reaches 100 minutes, that's when I start looking at my watch.
Uh-oh. Well, those hands is getting really grabby.
Yeah, but I like how when it was outside the apartment, it seemed like it was really an awesome party, and then we get inside, nothing's happening.
Yeah, this is the only shot that looks like actually dated are the actual like stop motion shots.
Yeah, the stop motion and
But they know not to linger on them.
yeah,
Practical
and
shot.
and even the dog puppets are kind of you can tell they don't move.
I know, but they're practical and they look like they're because they are actually
Yeah.
there. Now, I heard that this restaurant actually closed like 5 years ago, but this restaurant was actually a famous restaurant in New York.
Hmm. Oh,
I love
and he
how it was a bear and now it's a cougar.
and he doesn't even sell it. He just kind of goes okay and goes about his business.
Yeah.
Wow, the keymaster and the gatekeeper,
Yes.
very subtle. I like that he figured this out immediately without having any explanation required.
Yes. Well, actually, I've read someone say that if you meet someone with multiple personalities, the way that he handles it is the right way to handle it, which
Hmm.
I thought was actually interesting because I don't actually study this sort of thing, so it's
Hmm.
sort of weird.
Only Zool. How are they going to do this? They're going to have an entire Zool movie? There's no story to tell with Zool.
Zul's just a dog, one of the two
Yeah,
dogs.
Zool is the gatekeeper. Now he gets out the giant ring and runs it over her. Da, 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 da. Oh, jeez.
If only it was John Candy.
Eh, Rick Moranis is a good second choice.
He was pretty good. Yeah, I like him. I'm just saying that it'd been funny if it wasn't. Oh, I love this line. I just saw that like dropping out for picking up. Look at that. Look, just imagine how hard it was to get that effect right with his head turns.
I like how Vince Gortho somehow inherits the personality of Rick Moranis' prior character here. It's like he possesses a goof and thus becomes a goof himself.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
And we're just past the hour mark.
Yep, we're at a pretty good clip here.
Yes, we are.
And someone had the nerve to write an article that was, oh yeah, the original Ghostbusters, not really that good. Like, how dare you? And here we have the beginning of the third act.
Yes.
I mean, you could definitely tell what era these special effects are from. You know, there's a series of shots coming up, and I don't remember exactly where it is, but Ron Jeremy is an extra in this movie. I think it might be this scene.
Here we go.
Hmm.
It's the ghost of Jim Belushi.
Mm-hmm. John Belushi.
Yeah, that's right. Did I say Jim?
Yeah, he's still with us.
Damn it. You took the wrong one!
Aww.
Sorry.
All the criminals huddling around them. So what they're talking about right now is basically the whole plot of Answer the Call. I mean, they just seem to pick this movie apart to
and
just to
do
figure out how
the
to make a trilogy out of it.
and how to do the opposite of what they did.
Hmm. I mean, they very much did the exact opposite of what this movie is.
I love
I mean,
how
that lit.
she kisses him in like the male stance of the kiss.
Yeah,
Because Rick Moranis is a very small man.
yeah. I was gonna say she towers over him.
I know. Sigourney Weaver is not exactly a short woman, but Rick Moranis is a very short man.
Hmm. I mean, it just occurred to me just a few minutes ago that they took 2 minutes of expository dialogue out of this movie and made a whole movie out of it.
Yeah.
Uh, See, I can't believe people say that Winston has no real role in this movie. I'm like, did you see this movie?
I,
I
most
mean, yeah,
famous
he's
line.
yeah.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
And that's how we know we're in perfect sync. Because you just said that right on the money.
Thank you. Most quote line in the movie, Neil, I had to do it.
I know.
I love
Now I
that so
forgot what
much.
I was saying.
I love that the Archbishop is like, now this is the only exterior shot that was not actually in New York. This was shot in a soundstage
Hmm.
because they couldn't actually hollow out a street in New York, so they had to do this on a soundstage in L.A. I know too much about this movie. I love how those signs are such like perfectly done. I forgot this song was in this movie. This is such an '80s song too, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Even the rabbis love him.
Well, the rabbis know these guys are legit. Rabbi, Rabbi knows the tricks are for kids.
I think that's the only forced comedy line.
Mm-hmm.
See, yeah, like I said, this is the only shot done in New York because uh,
They
like,
couldn't do that.
they couldn't tear apart a street in New York. So this was a soundstage in L.A. But they actually did tear it apart. And unlike another certain movie, this street is still torn apart when they leave at the end of the movie. There is no
Mm-hmm.
magic. New York is fixed button
Yeah, that was really weird. It's like, why would there be? Why would that happen? Why would everything just go back to normal?
because it was set on Real Boy ending.
It's like cartoon logic.
That was a SpongeBob reference, Neil.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing rough, be prepared for the worst level in the video game.
Oh God.
What I love is there's such jubilation, and all of a sudden, the worst level of the video game.
Right. Back when video games took their source material a little too literally. And they just kept releasing that game on so many consoles. It was a game meant to be played on the ColecoVision.
I had it on the Atari.
Oh my God, that's right. It was on the Atari.
It was okay.
Yeah. And I believe the reason why it's three Ghostbusters in that scene of the game is that the Atari could only have two sprites on the screen at one time, but for some reason it was able to do a triplicate sprite.
Right.
So that's why a lot of games you see the sprites in rows of three.
Be prepared for one of the other greatest lines of the movie.
That's a great shot.
Yep. And another great line about to come out.
That's the one you could see coming from a mile away.
Yeah, notice that they are far away when he did that.
Hmm.
They don't try to linger too much on the stop motion.
Yeah, because compositing wasn't then what it is now.
I know, but again, that's them doing their strengths is they don't linger on it. They don't
Hmm.
settle on it too long. They don't, they don't highlight the weaknesses of the technique. They combine it with other techniques to make it look passable.
And it's to the betterment of the movie because they have to kind of zip by stuff like that. Now it's like they have so much freedom they have to linger on everything. Well, we can have the creature get right up close to the camera now.
Oh, I love that. That's
Great
like
callback.
revenge from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It's David Bowie.
The whole end of this movie's quotable.
Die.
Electricity effects. The hallmark of 80s action movies.
This is the big action scene, not them doing like combat rolls and
Oh, that was ridiculous.
yeah. Like I
I,
said, the only role that McCarthy knows is a donut roll, not a
yeah,
combat
I
roll.
I can't see McCarthy doing combat roles. I can't even see these guys doing combat roles.
And they don't. This is the big action scene.
It's like, what were they trying to prove? It's like, these Ghostbusters aren't going to be schlubs. We like them because they're schlubs.
You can tell it's styrofoam, but the sound
Yeah.
effects do sell it.
By the man, baby.
They're not going to shoot in the dick.
What did you do, Ray?
Oh my god, this shot is fantastic. It roars like
It's like,
Godzilla, but it looks
yep.
so fucking cute.
It's like a combination of Big Boy and the Michelin Man.
I know. But look at, like I said, it's just so cute. It's like a living cartoon character.
It's something they didn't even really capture in the cartoon.
I know. And no, they're not shooting him in the dick.
Nope. They went right for the jugular.
Chekhov gun fired.
Definitely a very slim chance.
And what I love is just the what Ray and right here. I love that.
Yeah. Because they're basically saying goodbye.
Yeah, they're basically like saying that they have a fondness for each other.
Yeah. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Now that's an awesome shot.
Yeah. And they survived that.
Very slimly.
Hmm. I don't think I'd want to be doused in melted marshmallow.
Well, good news. It's shaving cream.
I mean, it'd be like being roasted alive.
I know it'd stick to you like napalm.
Yeah, that's not a pleasant thought. But it's a movie. And the reason they use shaving cream is because, unlike any dairy product or actual marshmallow, you could just flake it off when it dries.
Yeah.
And the set and the wardrobe are fine. Which is something I learned from Bozo.
Yes. Man, that was a good climax. And there
Hmm.
was only like 95 minutes.
Hmm. And she's okay.
But it feels like it's earned.
Hmm. Oh, of course you have to have the wacky one too.
Yeah. But it feels like it's earned. It feels like there's still like some destructions. It doesn't feel like a total reset button, you know?
Hmm.
You know, an earned victory is better than like a magic victory.
Oh, the 80s. I know what that is.
And then I love this town. Don't look good.
God damn, Ben. That was a damn good movie.
Yes, it was. They should have got this Ivan Reitman to make the new one.
Oh,
My father can beat your father in dominoes. And what I love is the credits is them just getting ready to drive off.
Right. It's like, we're
Phone
going home.
and you call. And then felt bad.
God, what a breath of fresh air this is.
Big call. Bustin' makes me feel good.
Huey Lewis.
That was a damn good movie, Neil.
Yes, it was.
It's almost like this is what Ghostbusters should have been. Wait, it was.
Like I said, it's almost like this movie is a response to the new movie because it's like it almost seemed to address all of the faults of the new movie just by skipping over all of the anything that could have been a slow part. I know we didn't talk that much during the movie, but
The movie did most of the talking for us.
yeah. This movie should be movie making 101.
Yes. And again, like I said, the things I didn't even know, like what Max Landis said about the camera lenses and camera shootings and the lighting that they used.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at the new movie has very even, what you call sitcom style lighting. You know,
Right.
where everyone's lit the same way, everything has the same amount of focus. It's very odd.
It's the absence of style.
Yes,
Every movie is shot the same way these days.
I know. I mean,
And it
it's
was
go
it
ahead.
was manufactured to be a franchise from the start, which you can't do that all the time.
Well, the whole idea is like we want to make a movie universe now because Marvel,
Yeah.
and I kind of find that sort of attitude disgusting, especially when you have nothing.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, go ahead.
Marvel took its time to make sure each and every single one of those movies stood on its own. And they did for the most part. I mean, there was Thor, which
Thor
is
was only
skippable.
like Thor was only like okay, and
Yeah.
Thor wasn't like a Green Lantern. Let's be fair to
No,
Thor.
it was more like a Masters of the Universe. I'm sorry, I couldn't help think that the whole movie. Like, this is totally the Masters of the Universe movie.
Casey Kasem played himself.
And it's like they just took the three of the principal actors from this movie and inserted them into the new movie to kind of endorse it.
Under threat of legal action,
Yeah.
I might add. Like I
Hmm.
said, I've heard Bill Murray not confirm this, but it's been suspected Bill Murray is doing the Walter Peck character when he's doing the new movie.
Hmm.
Like he's copying that actor's mannerisms and stuff. You've seen the scene, Neil. What's your verdict on that?
That could be. I think he was basically dragging his feet in that movie. It's like, look, that's what you're getting out of me. And I think we're going to hear from Mr. Murray in his memoirs when he's dead and gone. We're going to hear what he really thought of that movie.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the end.
Certified Fresh, 97% Rotten Tomato score.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and see you next week.